If you've ever locked up crypto in a standard proof-of-stake network, you've likely seen this setup before. You put your asset in and wait. It is just a straightforward one-dimensional process. You stake a native token, and in return, the network provides a steady yield of that exact same native token. It's a closed loop sustained by inflation. But there is a specific vulnerability built into that loop. Your entire return, and the security of the blockchain itself, is tied to the price stability of a single asset. If that token loses value, your yield drops right along with it. Sophisticated node operators and yield farmers are outgrowing this model. They are looking for diversified revenue streams without having to leave the base layer to chase risky DeFi protocols. Relying on a single token limits a delegator's upside and concentrates their economic risk into one specific point of failure. This is where Cura deviates. They've replaced the single pipe with a multi-token revenue stack called the trifold reward system. Instead of one spigot, the system pulls from 3 distinct streams: block rewards, fee rewards, and roll-up incentives. This structure allows delegators and validators to earn a basket of assets, including base inflation, various gas tokens, and Layer 2 swap fees, all from a single unified stake. This creates a clear trade-off. You get a wider surface area for potential yield, but you can't just set it and forget it. Delegators have to manage their portfolio risks actively. To decide if that extra strategic work is worth the effort, we have to look at the mechanics and compare Cura's pillars directly against the legacy networks they evolved from. The first pillar of Cura's system is the block reward. This is your foundational baseline, derived from native KEX inflation. This matrix shows the core mechanics. You entrust your KEX to a consensus node, and the block proposer takes a commission that sits between 1 and 50%. In return, a fixed amount of KEX is minted with every block and split among the delegators. The distribution rule here is specific. These rewards compensate you based on network-wise risk. Payouts are proportional to the total value delegated across all active staking pools on the network. This closely mirrors the Cosmos reward distribution model, providing a predictable standard for baseline yield. The trade-off is stability versus performance. Network-wide distribution provides a reliable yield, but it dilutes the financial impact of staking with a single, high-performing local node. Block rewards provide the necessary security baseline, but they are not where an operator finds their competitive edge. That edge comes from the second pillar, fee rewards. This acts as a direct local multiplier for your node's specific activity. Here, the input comes from users paying execution fees. These aren't limited to KEX. They are paid in various whitelisted tokens. The network defaults to giving validators a 50% share of these multi-token execution fees. Unlike block rewards, fee rewards use a local risk rule. These fees are split only among the assets staked locally in that specific block proposer's pool. This localized activity-based mechanism is similar to the Polkadot reward distribution model. Because your return is tied to the node you choose, you have to be active. Delegators must monitor their node's transaction volume and local efficacy, rather than staking anywhere on the network. Fee rewards change staking from a passive holding pattern into a multi-asset generation strategy. The final primary stream is roll-up incentives, which function as a powerful, high-yield Layer 2 kicker for the stack. To earn these, consensus nodes must serve as executors and verifiers for specific Layer 2 roll-ups. When they do, those nodes and their delegators earn a 25% share of the swap fees generated by that L2's AMM pool, paid in application-specific tokens. Cura also includes circumstantial rewards, like universal basic income to bolster security and state grants from the treasury to bootstrap new nodes. The trade-off for roll-up incentives is consistency. Your total yield becomes partially reliant on the variable transaction volume of third-party Layer 2 applications. By combining these streams, Cura connects base layer security directly to application layer revenue. The overall architecture is highly calculated. Cura stacks the stable baseline of Cosmos, the local multipliers of Polkadot, and the application yields of Layer 2s into a single validator action. Rather than relying on one failing point, this multi-stream approach actively protects the network's overall security budget from sudden market volatility. If the native KEX token drops in value, node operators are insulated. Their yield is bolstered by the distinct gas tokens and AMM swap fees they are simultaneously collecting. This prevents the blockchain from relying entirely on a single token's inflation to keep validators incentivized. The complexity of the trifold system is a structural, mathematical hedge against the inherent volatility of the crypto market. We can map out exactly who should deploy capital into this system based on how you prefer to manage your assets. If you want a purely passive experience checking a single APY number, traditional state and forget models are a better fit. The natural variance of local fee generation and L2 roll-up volume will frustrate a hands-off investor. However, if you are an operator who wants to treat your stake like a dynamically managed, diversified portfolio, Kira is the natural choice. Kira's trifold system sets a resilient new standard for yield generation, but these results are only accessible to the operators who actively manage the network's complexity.